What's up, my beautiful diamonds? Yeah, we back out here again, ain't we? Yeah. All right, hopefully y'all having a good week. Hopefully things are moving along well for you. We gotta do what we do, right? All right. So listen, especially as it relates to today's topic, dealing with bitterness. If you're having some struggles with that, this is definitely going to be a great read for you. This is my book, The Forbidden Secrets of the Goodie Box, What Your Father Didn't Tell You and Your Mother Didn't Know. You can download it for free on my website, christopherreid.org. The reason I say that it would be great for someone that's dealing with bitterness is because the main character, Deborah, talking about exes and coming through some horrific stuff. The opening scene in this book really is bad. Okay, and so she has to fight through all of that. Work on her healing, the whole shebang. So get this; it's free. It's on my website. Enjoy it. Let me know what you think about it. And yeah, okay. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get to today's topic. Okay. Has a bad relationship left you bitter? Now, I got this great topic from someone had hit me up on Facebook and said, "Hey Doc, would you be willing to address this?" And I thought that it was definitely something worth addressing. So many of you have come through a very horrible relationship. I mean, just you name it. You dealt with it. Whether it was cheating, it was abuse, it was, everything in between. Okay. And so as a result of coming through this horrible relationship, the pain was overwhelming, to say the least. All right. There was a lot of sleepless nights. There was a lot of, why are you doing me like this? There was a lot of, God, why is this happening to me? And it was just overwhelming. So, I totally understand. And I tell, any of my clients this, or anyone that I talk to about this subject, that I understand that how fear now can come in, and obviously it serves to try to protect you from experiencing any additional hurt. And so, but what happens is your alter ego kicks in. Okay, now everybody's alter ego has a name. All right, just for grins and giggles, we're gonna say yours is Pookie. Okay, so your alter ego Pookie kicks in after you've been hurt. Okay, fueled by this bitterness, and Pookie's crazy. Pookie's like, "Oh no, I got this, dog." You're like, "Come on, Pookie." No, man, I said I got this. All right. And so Pookie, all right, can't wait to fight. No, okay, let's do it then. No, you was talking all that. People looking at you like, who is this? So, but here's the deal, though. Here's the deal about Pookie. All right, coming out to protect you. It's not the real you. This is not the loving, made in God's image you. This is the alter ego. This is the side of you that says, "No, we ain't gonna get hurt again. Not on my watch." That's what it is. So when we talk about being bitter, all right, being bitter is very toxic. Okay. It just is. And like I said, when Sir Pookie, or Miss Pookie, or Phuket, whatever comes out, it's, with the intentions of saying, "I'm going to protect us. There's not going to be any additional hurt." Okay. And so the bitterness, though, that tries that I guess evolves. Okay. It masquerades as protection, because the reason I say it's masquerading as protection, because it's not genuine protection. Like scripture says, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord." Okay. That's real protection. All right. Our job is to love. Okay. When Jesus was on the cross, and he was up there, stretched wide, naked as the day he was born, hurting, a lot of pain. I think anybody would, be willing to admit that was a painful, situation. And for him to have the presence of mind to say, "Forgive them for that's protection. The ability to do that. Bitterness is, like I said, it's a counterfeit. It is a counterfeit. And what it does, that hurt blinds you, okay? Because you feel very justified in your bitterness and because you were hurt. So you really don't have a very objective standpoint on how Pookie is wilding out here and just going crazy, because your thing is, hey, I got every right to protect myself. You know, I mean, people are crazy. They'll do, things to you. And it becomes like a cancer. It does. It becomes like a cancer because it eats away at you. It's eating away at your soul. It's eating away at, even physically. When we're bitter and we hold on to these things, we can have physical conditions that, develop as a result. We can literally have cancer. We can have ulcers. We can have cold sores. We can have these things that, think of it, bitterness. Just think of the term bitterness. Okay. It's a very toxic term. And think of all that toxicity, is that right? Okay, y'all let me know. Okay, think of all of that toxic, those emotions eating away at you. All right, not a good thing, not healthy at all. So what you end up doing is you end up having no joy. Okay, how are you going to be bitterness? How are you going to be bitter and joyful all at the same time? You got that painted on smile. Yeah, it's not legit. It's not real. It's not genuine. Okay, you may be smiling on the surface. It may be but you really like. Yeah, that's really where you are, because like scripture says, you cannot serve two masters. Okay, because what happens is if you got joy over here, you got bitterness over here. Okay, you'll end up loving one and hating the other one. And because you have been filled, okay, with this bitterness, like I said, under the guise of trying to protect yourself, now joy has become your enemy. Peace has become your enemy. They can't coexist. Now you may try to make them go together. Okay, you may think that you got the next best thing, like, chicken and waffles. Ooh, they don't seem like they go together, but they do. And they do. It's nice. If you've ever been there in California, it's a wonderful thing. You never thought it would. But these two don't. No, they don't. They don't go together. So what happens is you end up being very defensive, okay, with those that you come into contact with. And you don't really realize it, and it can give you, like I said, because you have blinders on, you can tend to think that it's everybody else and not you. Because like I said, you're justified. All you're doing is protecting yourself, all right, from what was a legitimate issue or hurt or concern, but at the same time, you're still running from a situation that's long gone. And this can also happen with, childhood trauma, any type of abuse, parents neglecting you, absentee father, whatever gave you that serious, intense trauma, that hurt, okay, that you said you made up in your mind and you promised God and a few others, I never want to feel that again. I'm not going to feel that again. Okay, but it can be triggered by a bad relationship where God just totally takes all of your kindness, he takes all of your goodness, and he just stomps on it. It's the proverbial, pearls before swine thing. And he just abuses it, and he just leaves you utterly shattered. All right, that's what we're talking about here. All right, so, but there are a lot of casualties. There are a lot of casualties of this war, okay, between your bitterness, all right, and the real you, Pookie and you, okay? And some of the casualties, actually, this may be a surprise to you, innocent men, ladies, that you come in contact with, never done nothing wrong to you. They ain't even known you long enough. They're just trying to get to know you, okay? You can hurt them. Okay, they can try to pursue you, try to get to know you, just doing what guys do. And you can just cut them down, not necessarily because they really acted funny. Maybe I'll call you at 1. I called you at 3. No, can't do it. Okay, I'm out of here. So that's one way that the bitterness, can come out. It can come out with friends. Friends can tell you, that you seem to have changed somehow. You know, they can tell you that something's going on, and you're like, going on with me? You know what I'm saying? You need to look at your crazy life because, first of all, before you be trying to tell somebody, okay, that's Pookie. I told you, that's Pookie. Great, he can't listen. Okay, Pookie can't wait. You know, he wakes up like where they at. You know, you ever had a friend that just wanted to fight, like just for no good reason? You what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Like, there's nobody there. No, okay, I thought I heard something. You know what I mean? So that's what we're talking about. Family, you can be listen. You know, with your kids, you know, they could be like, "Mama, you mean? You know, shut up, go on in there and take your bath and go to bed." You know, everything's just mad. You can't see it though. Strangers, you know, you combative. Excuse me. Did you say something? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Yeah. You just quick on the draw. And I gotta keep I gotta keep reiterating, okay, you don't see it. You feel like you're very justified in this stance. And another thing, if when people at times attempt to tell you, now they become just somebody else that's trying to potentially hurt you. Okay. Now we all know that the enemy is busy, and in this instance, you have been bewitched. Because what the enemy does is whisper to you, they out to get you. They want to hurt you again. They want what's yours. Don't let them get it. And see, that's what you're hearing, and you're like, yeah. No, so you get the enemy and you get Pookie working together. It's a dangerous, nasty combination. You're just the real you, that tender, loving little girl, you that hopes all things, wishes all things. You know what I mean? You love all things. That's you in there, but you sandwiched in between, you know, Pookie and the enemy is like, and you just in there trying to hold on and survive, you know. But what this ultimately is doing to you is it's giving you a closed heart. Your heart is like this. Okay. And let me share something with you. You can't love with a closed heart, ladies. You can't. You can't. Because the reason that you can't love with a closed heart is because you don't allow anything in. Even things that are good for you, people who mean you well. No. You try to, yeah, it's not going to happen. It's like pouring water on, you know, a granite countertop. It doesn't soak in versus a sponge. You soak it all up, okay? You want your heart to be like a sponge, okay? Now, I know for some of you that I'm sharing this with, that terrifies you. Just the idea of opening up, because now it's like, because now the facade of protection is like, it's you know, and you're like, no, I hear you, Doc, but I don't know about that because people are crazy. Well, some people can be crazy, but not everybody, you know, but that's the script. That's the story that continually goes on in your mind, that the world is a bad place. It's evil. The people, you know, are out to get me. That's not always the case. And so when you're talking about, but here's the deal. You're in this bitter place, but you want a loving, caring relationship. You do. You desire that with all of your being. You do. But how can the two walk together except they agree? So if you got this closed heart, so you're wanting to meet somebody who has an open heart, okay, that is a mismatch. That don't go together. It can't happen because with this open heart, it's trying to love on the closed. And how are you going to get in? There's no entry point to the closed heart. You know, just bang, bang, bang. Can't get in there. All right. Now, what can happen is a closed heart can attract a closed heart. You know what I mean? Because you're basically emotionally unavailable. When you're bitter, that you have that toxic emotion of bitterness inside you, you're not available. So what you can do is you're also going to be drawn to people who are not available. So because you genuinely at a core level, you're not going to allow anyone to really get that close to you anyway. So you're going to be drawn to people that you know will never be a candidate for really being close to you. Does that make sense? Okay. So here's what I believe. You deserve to take your power back. You have to take your power back. You have to, because, you know, when we talk about, fighting for your joy and your peace, it's at times it can feel like a fight. I mean, it takes effort, because that stronghold has been on you for so long. It has comforted you somehow. Your bitterness, even though it's crazy enough, even though it has eaten away at you and is chipping away at you in a very weird kind of sadistic way, it also feels like it has been your best friend and has comforted you, because it's kept things at bay. All right. From getting to you. And oftentimes we think our bitterness is really just directed towards the individual that probably hurt us, but it's not. It's either you're bitter or you're not. You may think that you can funnel it or filter it like that. Doesn't work that way. So in order to not stay stuck, you have to fight your way out. And the way that you fight your way out is realizing that you desire for your heart to be open. Okay. And with desiring for your heart to be open, first of all, you got to forgive yourself. Okay. You have to forgive yourself, because the realization that now after I've been out of that situation, then I can no longer blame that situation, really. Okay. Because whenever we talk about healing and starting that process, we always got to understand that it's my responsibility. It starts with me. So I can't put it on whomever it was that did whatever. Okay. But that realization can sometimes be a little shocking, because it's like, wow, I've been hurting myself. And now, unknowingly, okay, but now I got to forgive myself for hurting myself. I got to, let that go. Okay, I didn't do what I should have done or I could have done, whatever. Okay, but you are the first person that you need to forgive. All right, and go through that process. But see yourself as that little child. See that little girl inside you who doesn't know. You just trying out here to survive, and you probably had never really fully been healed, maybe from something that happened a long time ago. Like I said, this situation with a guy was probably just a trigger. Okay, it just triggered what was already there, and then it just continued to snowball. All right, then you can forgive your ex or whoever you feel has done anything to offend you. You can let it go. I was on a group coaching call yesterday. Had my mom on, who is she's a teacher, and she has her own thing going on, but very wise woman. And she was sharing how she has written all these letters to the people that she has that have done things to her, legitimately so, that have been hurtful. And when I say legitimate, I mean it's real situations. I mean, don't have time to get into any of that, but just writing a letter to each one of those people to release that. And when you do that and you really do it from your heart, meaning your heart is starting to open up. Okay, and it's starting to be vulnerable, it's starting to be soft, and all this, you'll know, because you'll feel a release, you'll feel light. Okay, because your ex, at the end of the day, is a hurt little boy. Okay, now I understand you when he was being, Satan's love child to you. Okay, he was a grown man, 200 some odd pounds and acting crazy. I get that, but at the same time, that little boy, okay, was hurt. And so, for him, he felt the way he had to protect himself. So, but we talking about, this ain't for the light-hearted, okay? This is some mature stuff we talking about. We 400 level classes. We may be graduate level classes right now. So for those of you who may be listening, and you miss me with that, son, I'm not doing that. I get it, even the rich young ruler walked away sad when, Jesus said, this is what it's going to take, pimping. And he was like, okay, well, listen, I get at you, man. Let me know when you come back through on tour. You know what I'm saying? I'll be there front and center, but whatever you selling, I ain't buying. You know what I mean? It's okay. Everybody's at where they at. All right. But for those of you who are like really tired of being in that toxic place, you can feel, that the toxic vibes of that bitterness just eating away at you, and you like, I can't do it no more. I'm not going to do it no more. Okay. And so once you get to that point where you are forgiving that person, now you really can love yourself. You're not hindered. There's nothing blocking you. There's nothing stopping you. There's no awe in your heart. The scripture talks about, hey, listen, if you got a problem with your brother, hey, before you walk up in here and, throw your money at the feet of, whomever, bishop this and bishop that, bless you with the money. And before you do all that, just go on back and, make it right, and often make it right in your heart with whomever. I'm not saying that you need to go back and, 30 years or whoever that you had an issue with. And no, just right here, what I'm saying, for real, just let it go. And if you've had a problem or you having a problem with this, I'm not in any way trying to say that what I'm selling to you, like I told you, it's serious, 400, graduate level classes. If you're having a challenge with that and you need to holler at somebody about it, get at me. This is what I do. Let's set up a free consultation, see what your situation is, see where the blockage is. And, we'll put you on a coaching program, one-on-one, group coaching, whatever the case may be, but don't stay stuck. Don't stay stuck. Don't allow the enemy to whisper in your ear and get with Pookie and how you out here like, your crazy gangster face. You know what I mean? I don't know what I've heard some interesting alter ego names. I don't know what yours is, but I'm sure it's crazy. Like everybody else's is crazy. All right. So hopefully that's blessed you, because you deserve to have the kind of relationship that you want. You do. But at the same time, as long as you got that bitterness eating away at you, it can't. It just can't go together. You're not gonna. You're repelling the very thing that you say you genuinely want. Okay. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Hopefully it's blessed you. Maybe if you know somebody that's dealing with this, you can forward the video to them. Yeah, let's take the power back. Yeah, in this instance, let's take the power back, kick the enemy out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, you're not living here rent free. Okay, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go. You're getting evicted. You get Pookie. All right. Yeah, it's been a blessing. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, all right. Well, you be saying it while you're walking. Okay. All right. So that's where we at. Enjoy yourself this week. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.